Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche pregame show presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when you sign in to a new account to get amazing odds boosts every single day. We got the squad with you today for an afternoon game. Always the best. Can we all agree afternoon games are the best?
The best.
I was just walking around this morning in an extra good mood because it was an afternoon game.
You just start like putting hours together. You're like, sweet.
Sick. It'll still be dark by the time we get out of here.
It will be dark, but I'll have my evening.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Can eat a proper dinner.
Yeah.
Not that the bar food isn't great, but you're not meant to eat that 5 days a week.
I was saying, I just don't want it at 11 p.m. Like, that's the issue.
What do you guys want? Pot roast tonight? Everyone eating pot roast?
So, all right, we do have to talk about AJ not liking pot roast. Like, that's just a really weird thing to not like, given...
Wait, weird food takes on this show?
Well, it's weird given that I've eaten several meals with AJ, and like everything that makes up pot roast, I've seen him eat in other forms. I read that this morning. It's like, that's like saying, ooh, I love chicken, but I hate chicken sandwiches. It's like, no, it's the same thing. You're just adding bread. Like
It's like a kid that has to have everything separated into
Yeah.
Does he like
files.
fried chicken? Like,
right. I mean, yeah. That's, I guess it was like, oh, I love fried chicken, hate chicken sandwiches. It's like, I don't think so. And so I just thought that was a really interesting take for AJ to not like pot roast.
It's performative. He likes pot roast.
Yeah, this is all just part of his brand.
gonna find out like someone served him pot roast with like full of pickles or something.
Yeah. He's only had it made like a really specific, like Russian way or something like that.
Oh God,
Jeez. Oh my gosh.
that's way worse.
What?
Yeah. Where's your mind at right now?
That would probably scar you if you got pot roast with human remains in it, that probably wouldn't just scare you off a pot roast. That'd probably make you like
I don't.
you'd have to go
food.
you'd have to go
Yeah.
talk to someone about that.
I only cook my own food
Yeah,
from now
yeah.
on.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, Avs are taking on St. Louis, an in-division matchup, so technically a 4-point matchup. I'm going to be honest, I don't think they're that concerned about where St. Louis is in the standings, but if you look at it right now, they are 9 points back, 8 points, I think it's 9. 9 points back of Dallas and
Winnipeg. 3
thank
games
you.
in hand on Winnipeg.
So it's not really 9 points. But
only 1 game in hand on Dallas, though.
So you want to keep yourself within striking distance there, right? You don't want to fall out of the race for first in the West. Well, first in the Central. Vegas is doing pretty okay.
And when you look at the rest of the schedule, there aren't a ton of teams that you could expect them to have a good chance of defeating. So you want to see them beat the teams you expect them to beat.
100%.
So actually, I went on the hockey show on Mile High Sports yesterday with Ryan Bolding, and we were talking about the schedule. This month of December, the Avs, if they continue to get some guys back, I'm sure we'll get to Lehkonen here in a second.
Yep.
The Avs have a chance here between now and New Year's to bank some points and to make this ground up a little bit. Home-heavy schedule. You've got Arizona, you've got LA, you've got Montreal. I don't remember all the names right off the top of my head. I believe you have Chicago coming in.
Nashville in there, which is...
So you've got after today, you've got Philly, then Buffalo, then Nashville, all at home this week.
Yep.
After that, you've got the Islanders and the Canadians both at home. You're in Nashville, then you're in Arizona, LA, and then you finish the year with Toronto. Genuinely.
That's a lot of wins.
Between now and New Year's Eve, if Artturi Lehkonen is back today and you assume a little bit of health here for the next 2.5, 3 weeks, honestly, that game against Toronto is the only one that I look at and say, with the injuries, that may be a scheduled loss. All of these other games, you should be able to pick up wins. You should be able to get some points and really not be that concerned about where you're at in the playoff race. To me, I think this team has faith internally that, hey, as long as we stay within striking distance, we believe that come the end of the year, we will be near the top of the division, near the top of the conference, and everything's all good. Like, I don't think they're necessarily too concerned with where they're at right now. And these next 3 weeks are the springboard for how they get there, in my opinion.
Is Bo Byram's progress still an enigma?
Yep.
Or do we Yeah. Oh, week to week. So he's a few months out.
But it's
Actually, thank you.
like he was skating, but they said he's not skating.
So
Okay.
here's, and Megan, add anything to this if there's anything I'm forgetting. The only reason that, in my opinion, there's a little bit of cause for concern, just a little, is you go back to right before they left on, was it a 4 or 5 game road trip that they were on?
5, right?
Yeah, I guess I have the schedule still actively
Yeah.
pulled up.
Maybe it was 4. I don't know. No, I think
4.
it was 4.
It was a 4-game trip.
Because they could have gone 2 and 2, but lost the Flyers.
And they were leaving Sunday, November 27th. They had practice that day. We spoke with Jared Bednar. He said, while we're gone, we're expecting Evan Rodriguez and Bowen Byram to get on the ice with Sean Laird and start skating, start getting back handling pucks, things like that. So they're gone that whole week, then part of the next week. And then they came back, and Jared Bednar told us that not only did Bowen Byram not skate with with Sean Laird, he did not get on the ice at all. We've seen him around the rink in workout clothes. Peter Baugh from The Athletic followed up and asked Jared Bednar, oh, well, was there a setback? And Jared says, no, this is all part of the plan. Well, Megan and I went back and checked, and he was supposed to be skating while they were gone. So while Jared says there wasn't a setback, something happened where the plan of the course of treatment changed between the time Jared Bednar told us when they were leaving and they got back.
Yeah, that one's a weird one, but not the main talk of today. The main talk of the day is the guys the Avs are getting back, mainly Artturi Lehkonen as the big gun, another top 6 forward back in the quiver for the Avs. Megan and I talked a bunch after last game about how important getting just Nuke back is. I will ask it to you this way. On paper, should the Avs be as good as the St. Louis Blues today?
Yeah, they should be. I mean, you're starting to get that top-end talent back. Having multiple top-end talent guys, you get that gel. You get a line that can play together at that top level, speed, everything, everything that they can bring to the table. That's huge. And then the other thing that you have as a weapon is you have goalies that are just playing better right now than St. Louis Blues are right now. I believe both goalies right now are sub 900 goalies. So you have to take advantage of that.
Yep. No, I mean, we knew it during the preseason that was going to be the kind of linchpin for what St. Louis's season looked like, was how do these goalies hold up? How does Jordan Binnington hold up? Can he handle the load of being a full-time starter? He's lost it the last couple of years to Ville Husso. Now, having said that, he does seem to play well against the Avs.
Yep.
But you're right. This is a fragile goalie tandem right now. All Jordan Binnington jokes aside, this guy has a clear track record of showing. I mean, Blaise, even in beer league and stuff, there's always that rep. There's one goalie in the league, like, oh, score on this guy early and he's done.
Oh yeah.
Get to the net, get to Binnington. You should have some semblance of an actual NHL top 6 line today. I believe what we're seeing right now is Lehkonen, Rantanen, and Nichushkin as that top line. We expect it to get blended up a bit, but Ruda, like you guys were saying after the last game, you could just see what a difference purely having Val Nichushkin available in the lineup made.
Yeah.
Cale Makar talked about it after the game with me. Said, look, it bumps everybody down one spot. Yes, it's Val Nichushkin. He's not Connor McDavid. He's not Nathan McKinnon. But you plug him in, and that moves Newhook down one, which moves player X down one, which moves player Y down one. And suddenly, everyone is just a little bit more well cast for where they need to be. And I imagine you'll have a similar effect today with Lehkonen.
Yep. I'm not saying it's anywhere near where you want the Avs lineup to be, but given where they were at 6 days ago, this team feels a whole lot better, a whole lot more confidence that they can win hockey games right now.
Well, and really, Darren Helm, he's still wearing red, but he's full go.
Yep.
He was doing PK work the other morning at morning skate. He took an optional yesterday. Injured guys do not take optional skates. So while he is still in red, he's very close. Evan Rodriguez, he's very close. I'm honestly expecting both of those guys to return to the lineup at some point within the next 7 days. And so I think, again, in addition to getting a couple guys back into the lineup, I think just showing up to the rink and seeing that there are guys actually coming back into the lineup instead of going into the treatment room I think it's been a huge morale boost. You know, like we've made light of it. Like Blais and I each have our days since count going, and like it's fun and you know all that. It's funny and all that stuff. But
it's funny until it goes back to 0.
Right. Until we have to reset it. It's funny now that we're like getting to count up.
Yeah.
But until you have to take it back to 0. But like I really do think that the team isn't dealing with that. Like as much as we laugh about it, like that was a reality there for it's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It was every day you were resetting that counter to 0, and I just think seeing guys coming back to the ice helps.
Yeah.
It definitely changed the atmosphere. You're not going into games saying, all right, who's the guy we're going to lose in this one anymore.
Right.
Once you start getting some guys back in the lineup. Are we cutting straight to the chase? Is Lecky the key tonight, or does it need to be somebody else?
I'm going with Nuke. He's got a game under his belt.
Time to go.
Time to go. You know, get that timing back, get that speed up to where it needs to be. Thought he looked pretty good in the last game. I watched the replay of it. I didn't get to watch it live, but looked solid. Looked like he was just, you know, it's that missing a few games feel to it.
Yeah.
So.
I've got to take that. I know will be co-signed by Meghan. To me, I think whatever line Jean-Luc Foudy is the key for me tonight.
Okay.
I thought they had a really good game against the Rangers. Foudy, Hudon, and then they kind of cycled in a guy there. A lot of the night it was Ben Myers. I thought they were really dangerous. They generated chances. And that's, now that you are getting bits and pieces back, that's what you need. You need Mikko Rantanen, Val Nichushkin, Artturi Lehkonen. You need them to be contributing. You need one. Yeah. You need one today from your depth.
Yep.
If there's one thing that the St. Louis team has, as much as we don't like to give them credit on stuff,
it's forward depth.
It's forward
Yes,
depth.
they do.
And this Avs team, they got by for multiple weeks with their top guys driving the bus, keeping them staying afloat. You've dropped 4 in a row, one of them in a shootout. That's fine. No one's upset about that given the roster, given the injuries. You need your depth to punch through with one. It's a tall ask to ask that bottom 6 to do much of anything right now, given just what the makeup of them. That's nothing against those players. Those are AHL lines. Like, it just is what it is. Build off of what you had in that last game. You can tell those guys are getting more comfortable at NHL speed. I want to see that Jean-Luc Foudy line break through for one tonight, and I think that could be a real big difference maker playing against a division rival that has some really quality forward depth.
Do you know if it is Binnington that's starting for the Blues
It is,
tonight?
yes. Yeah.
And this isn't meant to be the most scathing thing that I've ever said, but
Make it more scathing.
we see players
Turn it up.
who have struggled to finish, right? Charles Hudon. And the question is, all right, can he beat an NHL goaltender? And if there was an NHL goaltender to beat right now, it would be the one whose confidence has been depleted and who has been sub 900, and that is Binnington. And so I think this is an important game for someone like a Foudy or a Hudon. Together, they move the puck well. One of these players to contribute offensively, and they've been itching to do it. They made themselves very visible in the Rangers game, a lot to build off of there. This would be the game that I'm looking to see, all right, can Charles Hudon finish? Because I've been an advocate for him, and it's hard. It's like, can he finish on Shesterkin? Very few can. Okay, can he finish on Binnington?
Mm-hmm. So I see, it was funny, Megan, because that first game that Hudon had, a bunch of people were like, wow, I really like Charles Hudon. And in my head, I was like, that guy had 3 point-blank chances that he couldn't finish. Like,
That's where I was at.
right, like, yeah, he got there, but like you had 3 grade A scoring opportunities that you could not put in the net, and you missed the net completely on one of them. But he's been visible. Again, we all made the joke early, in preseason with Jared Bednar, but like those 3 players, Ben Myers, Foudy, and Hudon, I thought those guys were visible. I thought they were loud players in that last game against the Rangers.
I like how we've just co-opted loud for a completely different meaning than what Jared Bednar used it for.
I'm a Hudon homie, so
you're a Hudon homie?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
The Hudon Hogan.
Like, I guess, the finishing is a concern, but I think there is this knack of going from the AHL to the NHL. I mean, the talent level is just astronomical when you're looking in net, right? So it does take a little bit of adjustment, but you have to be excited for what you're seeing from him. He's gotten that chance. He's making the most of it. And he is. You're right. He's a loud, flashy player, and it's fun to watch. And I hope he keeps up, and he gets enough time up here to kind of show that, yes, I can play at this level.
Well, so, Jared Bednar has liked to try to keep any semblance of consistency with his lines. Like, we've seen him really, really stick, try hard to stick to that Confer, O'Connor, Cogliano line. There's so many C's in that line. Megan and I had to pause the morning skate update the other day for
Who are we missing?
Yeah, for 45 seconds, because every time we'd redo it, we kept forgetting somebody. And to me, going based on that Rangers game, knowing that as much optimism as there is to get some guys back this week, you are still multiple weeks from having a full roster back.
Yeah.
If I'm Jared Bednar, based off what I saw in that last game against the Rangers, I'm going to try to keep Myers, Foudy, Hudon together as frequently as I can. Get these guys some consistency, get them some regularity in the NHL playing together, and see what you can come up with. And if that can become kind of like a third energy line or a fourth energy line that doesn't get a bunch of D zone starts, but you plug out there because they're going to go. They're going to give you something way less, but similar to what the fourth line gave you in the playoffs, where Jared Bednar is going to send those guys out on the ice, and no matter what, they're going to move their legs 100 miles an hour, and they're going to hound pucks, and they're going to throw pucks on net. Then I think that's a huge win, and that's something to build on. So there's a very long-winded way of saying that to me, that line I think needs to have a huge impact on the game today.
And you talk about this in an afternoon game where historically, usually a bunch of weird stuff happens.
Yep.
The games are very odd. You get weird bounces. The effort level, the energy level is something the Avs can control tonight.
Yep.
It's something that they can do well regardless of how the game goes. You already mentioned it. They're on a bit of a skid here. Even if it is understandable, it's something you don't want to see continue regardless. So you'd like to see them put their best foot forward that they have in a while. And look, Megan and I both thought they played quite well in the Rangers game and didn't get the result they wanted. What can they do better?
Still
Put the
get a
puck in the
point.
net.
Still get a point.
Still got a point.
That's a positive. You got to look at the small.
We were
positive
very
right now.
positive.
Yeah.
We were.
Because that keeps you 1 point from a wild card spot with multiple games in hand.
Yep.
You aren't, that one small point kept you from being an even number of points back, having to win multiple games just to climb in. You win a game today, you're right back in a playoff spot. And again, I mentioned this yesterday on with Ryan Bolding. We all knew this type of skid was coming. If this type of skid didn't happen for the Avs, they should have given Jared Bednar the Jack Adams.
They're the greatest
in
team
January.
of all time.
Right.
At that point.
And that was why we talked so much, the four of us on this show, or just in general on the DNVR Avalanche podcast, about banking points. And they've done a good job banking points. You're going to need these points. There were some games early in the season that they won that they probably didn't deserve to.
Yeah.
But they needed to find ways to scrape out those wins because we knew a slide like this would happen if the injuries continue to pile up. We all said, if you get an injury to Makar, McKinnon, or Rantanen, that's when that skid happens. And wouldn't you know it, you lose McKinnon,
Crazy.
you drop your next 4, but you pick up a point in one of them. Overall, you're fine.
Megan, I know you're superstitious. Do you believe in jersey luck? Because the Avs are wearing the reverse retros today.
I do not believe.
Not
in
a believer.
jersey.
All right. Good. That's for the best.
That's for the best for everyone. From a smell,
Yeah.
from everything. Don't wash that jersey. You'll wash the luck right off.
I'm
of
just saying the Avs are 1-0 in this jersey. So
It's true.
It's always the dudes that show up in the white jersey that's like tinted yellow and they're like, oh man, I don't wash my stuff. It's like, yeah, that's not cool or like hockey guy. That's just disgusting.
maybe you should.
You're just gross. Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, you look like a yellow white jersey
No,
guy.
I usually watch it, but
Look.
I ran into my buddy, and I got blood all over my shoulder.
Yeah.
And I had it on for like 6 months. Every time I saw him, it was just like,
there was a fight 2 weeks ago at our game, and this one dude was leaking, and somehow I got some blood on a sleeve of white jersey. So last week I went to put it on. I was like, oh, Look at that. Someone else's blood.
I don't care how dirty your jersey is, as long as you don't put your skates on before your breezers.
Yes, dude. I
put my skates on before my breezers.
Ew!
Why?
Dude, I had a buddy who would. You just look so weird. So do you go shin pads first? Like, do you go?
I go jock.
Yeah.
Then I go skates.
So Blais is walking around the
Shin
locker room
guards,
with nothing
and
but
then
a
my-
jock
and then my
and skates
breezers.
on.
So
Yeah.
so you go. So you have to go. You have to go jock, socks, skates.
Yeah, the
shin-
socks go.
Yeah, okay. So this is actually what I was about to make fun of. So I'm glad you're here for this. I have a real good buddy, and that's how he got dressed. And he always just looked like the biggest fucking goober for 2 minutes, standing there wearing his skates and basically nothing else. Bare legs, skates, and socks scrunched up at his ankles. He looked like an idiot. And that's how Blais looks every weekend.
It's true.
Thankfully, he makes us a lot of money, so
Does
give
he?
us
Does
some
he make
bets,
us a
Blais.
lot of money?
Well, if you take his bets.
I'll make you guys any money.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Get out of here with that crap. All right, looking at my bets. A little different look here.
Boo.
I know you said that we always disagree on everything. You got to score early on a goalie. I don't
Yep.
think there's going to be a goal in the first 10. It's kind
See,
of been...
and I'm not even bullshitting you. Over in the first period is like my every game go-to
Yeah.
easiest bet.
yeah.
So just fundamentally, Blais
Well,
and I
this
are
is...
different.
Well, and...
So you're going under in the first, but over 6?
Yeah.
Under in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
First 10.
oh. Well, you have under in the first
Yeah,
period.
that's me. That's my fault.
No, under in the
Fucking
first
classic
10.
Yeah.
It's plus money. So
you're
that means that...
you're taking the anti-altitude bet here, eh?
That is the hard
yeah.
anti-altitude.
It is. It'd be different if it was a healthy lineup. I would never take that. Right. Second one, yeah. Over on goals at 6, minus 105. Feel like it's going to probably be a high-scoring kind of game. I mean, St. Louis Blues is got a lot of depth in scoring, so you're going to have to, score some goals to be in this game. And then, like I said earlier, I think Nuke is ready. It was that one game back, just getting ready for everything, and now he's ready to go. So plus 165 for an anytime goal.
There we go.
Love it. I'm all the way down for a high-scoring game with the Avs having some of that talent back in the lineup. It is Pavel Francouz in net for the Avs. Take whatever you will from that. We still believe he's a very good goaltender.
I'm still a big Frankie guy. He's also just like rapidly climbing the ranks of like my favorite human beings on Earth. He's just the man.
All right. Any final thoughts going into this game? Megan, you can start.
I don't have a final thought.
All right. No final thought. Final thoughts? Anyone else? No.
You got to beat the Blues. I've got too many steaks today with my buddy. That's a Blues fan.
It's an afternoon game. These are always fun. I
Yeah.
just always enjoy an afternoon
It might
game.
be
The matinee.
weird, but it'll be fun.
Do we have mimosas? Are there mimosas downstairs?
Yeah, there should be.
Well,
I'm about to go order an
well.
omelet. Like,
Is the brunch menu still going, eh?
Yeah.
Oh God.
anyway, I got a watch along coming up. We're gonna set that up beyond in the next 5 to 10 minutes. We love you. We'll talk to you in a little bit.